Well, good evening, everyone. It is Matt and Matt starting off the Thursday night nine on a Friday. We're throwing everybody off.
On a
But
Friday.
yesterday was my wife's birthday. So um, if you're married, you know how that works. We didn't have a live on Thursday night. It was my wife's birthday, but we're here on Friday. I'm here from my in-laws. We had a great birthday dinner for my wife tonight. Some great farm food. How are you doing, Mr. Fagley?
Good man. I'm coming to you from the new Western apartment. So we had to move this week. So it's been a fun filled week.
I completely understand that. It is what it is, though, man. That's part of life, out in California for sure. Um, but we've had a good week in the office. You're the newest APT employee. Figure how
No,
that works.
I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. We got to figure out how to, keep doing fun things and kicking butt and taking names and keeping stuff straight and helping the chapter owners out to ensure that we continue to have the biggest and baddest tour out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't want to preview hole one too much, but speaking of kicking butt and taking names, Cuba Island. That's all you need to say.
Yes.
That place is pretty good. I can't believe you missed it. I'm kind of sad for you.
Again, I was moving. It was a moving week. So
I know, but that place is really good, really special. Um,
absolutely. Absolutely.
but we got some great events this week coming up on
Mhm.
APT. Things are getting into full swing. Membership numbers are popping big time.
Yep.
So Nashville's got two events this week,
Mhm.
so
Yes.
big it won't fit on one day.
That's right. Their season opener is so large they can't do it in one day. They have to do two.
So
So yeah,
there you go.
good times for them. It's gonna be a good week. I mean, it's turning around and it is we are on the last day of February. There is no leap year this year. So March is here and all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, golf.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's gonna be good. And just Friday night nine, talking about topics, nine topics relative to APT. We got Lance Burbank from Universal Retirement joining us. Excited about what he's got to offer. I know some of you guys took advantage of uh,
First.
his first webinar, and from what I'm hearing, like there's been a lot of he's been able to help a lot of people. So that's been good. Taking care of our APC family, which is awesome. He's a member of our APT family. We love him. Looking forward to talking to him here in just a few minutes. But let's jump right into hole one. That's Kiowa Island.
Yep.
Uh, you know, I will say this about Kiowa. It was the hardest in 5 years of running the APT of watching other people play golf and running a tournament without bringing your golf club to the location. By far the hardest place I've ever had to do that. That place is unbelievable. Everybody knows about the Ocean Course, how good the Ocean Course is. Known for the War on the Shore Ryder Cup in 1991, where guys were winning matches shooting 85 because the winds got up the wrong direction. Um, but Osprey was really, really good to pair with it on a Saturday, which is one of the courses within the resort designed by Mr. Fazio himself. What a great event it was.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, looking at the scores, it was pretty good. And Chris is ready with our winners photo, so we can just kick off the recap. So we'll start out in D1. We had Will Morgan as our champion with 76-79, besting Randy Hodges, who shot 76 on day one, followed it up with an 83 to finish in second. So we paid out two places in Division One, and one day I want to be able to wear colors like Will. I try, but I just, I
And
mean,
not embarrass yourself.
exactly. You
That's
got to be
fair.
of a certain, you got to be of a certain waist to wear the white belt with those colors. So,
No,
we all
100%.
love
Well,
Will, and
I'll, I'll
congrats.
say this about Will. I was hanging around in the putting green when he started chipping, warming up, and Will used to play some tour life back in the day and got his amateur
Yep.
status back. And I was watching him warm up, and some of the tour sauce around the greens was on full display. And I felt like he was definitely going to be the one to beat on Sunday at the Ocean Course with those, chipping areas everywhere. So good with his hands around the green. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to play with Will, I think 1 or 2 times now, but the one time I did have the pleasure of playing with him, it was something I think he had 4 I think it was a 4-hole stretch, 5-hole stretch. It was birdie, 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 birdie. It was fun to watch, and it was, yeah, those guys in D1, So, all right, with that, we'll move on to D2, where we have a
Johnny Pierce, baby.
second time major winner, Mr. Johnny Pierce, with a pair of 79s both days, besting Mr. Joe Arnold, who fired 80-81, and Jeremy Key.
It's Joe Arnold. You can't pronounce the
Um,
R. He's from New York.
Fair enough. Jeremy Key with a 79-82, Travis Wartliff with a 79-82, and then Todd Feuerharken with an 81-82. So, a lot of scores in the low 80s, but it took a pair of 79s to get it done.
Tough golf course, man. It is what it is.
Yep.
So Division 3, let's jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Division 3 next up.
Gary Barrow,
Kentucky, Mr. Gary Barrow, firing an 83-87 to take it in D3. Again, really good to see Gary get that win. That's his first national major, I believe. Is that correct? I think so. Anyhow, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But congrats to Gary. We had Rusty Estes in second with an 85-87. Chris Hughey with an 80-93. He was the day one leader, and the Ocean Coast showed its teeth to D3. Tim Robinson with a 90-84, Larry Barber with an 85-92, and Scott Genosa with 84-95, finishing out the prize pool for D3. So, again, congrats to Gary, and good work.
Right. Well, D4, I'm proud of her because, she won Bears Best last year, the Southern Brawl, last major of the year, got promoted from D5 to D4, stuck with it, worked on her game, put her best round up on APT by at least 5 strokes, maybe even 7 strokes, Lynette, and got it done in D4, which is impressive on a golf course that, I'll be honest, was not set up for ladies.
Right. Yep.
So super impressed. Great win from Lynette. I know she got quite the battle from some challengers on Sunday, but came out victorious.
Yep. Had Andrew Repetto with the 84-94, Daniel Henris 88-94, and then Dolly Buenaventura with the 86-96 to round out the prize pool in 4. But yeah, again, congrats to Lynette for getting the job done there. So moving on to D5, we had
came down to the final putt, man. 8-shot comeback on the back 9, dropping a freaking 12-footer in the last hole to win.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a tale of two days between the two top guys. Peter with a 104-94, and then David Dasinski with a 94-105. And as you said, it came down to those last putts there on the 18th. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. Congrats to Peter.
Yeah, and pretty cool place to hold a putt on 18 to win with the ocean on your right, the clubhouse on your left. Like, it did not suck. Just saying.
It did not disappoint for a place of memory. So we got open net. We had played out 5 places.
You gotta pronounce his name right because he's from Georgia. So it's Jeremy Key.
Jeremy. There we go. With a 74-76 in the net, in the open net to take the prize there.
Yeah.
So, congrats to Jeremy.
And senior net's pretty simple because when you shoot your best round on tour by, at least 5 shots, you're going to do well in the net.
Yes.
So Lynette did very well in the senior net as well. Had 3 players max out on the USGA in this event with just a 100-player field, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So,
and paid out 11 places in the senior net. So
one of the only AM tours where you're pretty much going to max out of the major if you play well.
Correct. Absolutely, man. So again, congrats to all the winners, and hopefully those that we did rib a little appreciate our love.
I'm sure Joe Arnold, he's watching here. Joe Arnold. Can't pronounce the R, from New York.
Nope. All right, so that was a good hole and a half there because we gotta spout.
You're running way behind. Chris has already put us on the clock.
Exactly. Chris, we're going to have to change the recap to at least 1 or 2 holes, if not 3. But anyhow,
It happens. It was
moving
just a
on.
long par 5.
Exactly. Very long, 700-yarder or something
It was
crazy.
like Meadowlands. It was like the par 6
Yeah,
they used to
exactly.
have. We went to 2 states there on that hole, but, for those of you that don't know that, sorry, can't help you. Gotta go to Myrtle Beach.
Exactly.
So,
Oh,
hole 2, Pine Dunes. I'm excited for Pine Dunes next weekend.
yes.
Almost a completely sold out field at 118. We're gonna have a great time.
Yep.
But that golf course is legit. Has been
Yep.
voted the number 1 course in Texas, like 6 of the last 10 years.
And
Not
a
shabby.
Jody Barrett exclusive. So,
It is a Jody Barrett exclusive, which just means you can sign up and go.
yep. Well,
Folds of Honor Friday. If you want to get into 4-ball, you got 4 more hours, 5 more hours to do so. We got a couple spots left if you want to do it. Also, have some practice rounds on Friday at a very discounted rate if you go through the APT.
Yep. So that's going to be good. Yeah, we're one. Wow. Jeez,
It's always good.
that's next
It's
weekend.
always good to be back in Texas, man. We took a couple
Yes.
years off, or we took a year off in 2023, and the
Mhm.
Texas guys got mad at us. So last year, Horseshoe Bay was a great event. This year at Pine Dunes, which is a special spot. So it's going to be a really good time.
Yep, it's going to be a good time. We got the 4-ball going on Friday, 4-ball and practice rounds, your choice,
Mhm.
player's choice, and then
Yep.
the 2-day tournament. It's one of those interesting opportunities. Like some of the events, some of the majors will host at different golf courses both days, but this one is back to back, same course. So it's going to be a good
Right.
time.
No. Yeah, Pine Dunes is going to be a really good spot and a lot of fun. Looking forward to introducing everybody to it. The Texas guys all love it. They've played it before. But one of those secret, like really, really good buddy trip destination places that I think is going to become a staple on the APT schedule for some time. So, really good spot. Another one of those you don't want to miss. If you're up north and you're tired of the 30-degree weather, you want to get down to Pine Dunes. It's going to be a good time. The weather looks absolutely perfect for the weekend. It's gonna be a great time, so we're looking forward to getting down and seeing all of our friends from Texas and from around the country. So,
Yep, it's going to be a good
uh,
time.
yeah,
So
I mean, well, jumping into hole 3, we're talking about majors that are still open for registration. We're down to
because
2. I'm gonna call it 2.5 because the rest of them are
things
sold
are
out.
filling up and pretty much full. So
Yeah. So 2 big
home
opportunities.
fun.
We'll cover them all in hole 3. The first one's homecoming.
Mhm.
If you wanna know where APT all began, where it all began, you gotta come to Ann Briar June 21st and 22nd. One of my favorite places, near and dear to my heart. We call it homecoming because I was literally sitting in the pro Kevin Schaefer's office when we decided to do this, and he promised that he was gonna do everything he could to make us successful. And if you wanna see a snippet of what the APT culture is all about, come to Kevin's place, see how his staff treats you, see how they treat us as a tour, and it is an absolutely phenomenal experience at a golf course that gets better every time we play it. They've made huge investments in the last 4 years to their golf course. They're bringing in Division I tournaments. They've had the women's conference tournament for the
Yeah.
Missouri Valley last 2 years. They're getting the men this year. The golf course is in fantastic shape and hosts Monday qualifiers for the Corn Ferry Tour all the time. And just if you want to have an experience of a great golf course where they absolutely want to do everything they can to make sure that you have a great experience, Ann Briar is your place to go. And one of the best values on our tour.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
And again,
so
if you
we've only
want
got
to
like
get in,
23 spots left. I know. And the
you're looking
tournament's
at
in June, guys. We've got like 23 spots left. And the tournament's in June. After that, Sequoia National, the APT Independence Open at Sequoia, July 4th weekend. Folds of Honor Friday, 4-ball on Friday, tournament Saturday, Sunday. One of the most unique and fun layouts of any course in the country. Playing Stableford that weekend. Once you get up there and understand why we're playing Stableford, you will appreciate it. Because
exactly.
there are places on that golf course you can make a 18 really fast,
Yes.
but you can also make a lot of birdies. So Stableford will be a really fun format, and looking forward to seeing and hosting everybody up at Sequoia.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be a good time. And then the last one, the TBA, which is in the works. So
No, we've told them it's a wingman, American Dunes.
oh yeah, that's right. We have. Yeah.
Everything but signed the contract. It's going to be in the middle of August, 17th and 18th, I think. Whatever the weekend is, it's going to be limited to 40 teams. So it's going to be a premium event. There's going to be some food involved. We're going to have some speakers. There's going to be some great Folds of Honor stuff, some great swag, pun intended. More details to come soon. And It's going to be awesome. So definitely an event you do not want to miss. Um, we're gonna have a great time. We may do something different for the trophy too. I've got some ideas,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
but certainly can't wait to get to American Dunes, support our Folds of Honor family that we've been fortunate enough to work with and raise so much money for in the last 3 years. Um, ending last season with over $185,000 donated. That number's well over 200,000 now. With just coming in, and the number's just going to continue to grow, and to know that that money's going straight to the families of our fallen and disabled military veterans and first responders is a really cool thing.
Yep, absolutely. So with that, moving on to break number 1.
Yeah. You know
From
who it is? I gotta look at this. I gotta look at the private chat. I'm on my phone. It's
He's-
hard to see it.
He said he's going to go to 2 under. So we're
2
going-
under, my favorite. Definitely wearing him right now. Let's just be honest.
There you go.
So stay.
2 under. Quality fabrics, no roll waistband, Joey pouch, elevate and separate, no chafing. What more could you ask for?
Uh-oh.
So during the break, my kid's over there eating blackberries. She's eating / wearing them. So we're having a good time here. Just
There you
smiling away. Everybody's taking pictures. So,
Oh,
but
Lord.
2 under, my favorite. One of my favorite brands. Have been with us since day one. We love Jack and our whole 2 under family, and look forward to it. So if you don't know about 2 under, you should for sure. APT Pro
There you go.
Shops 20% off any 2 under purchase at any point. Just throwing that out there. But tonight we've got a great partner with us. We're really excited about the partnership. This is the start of year 2 with our friends at Universal Retirement. I will tell you, they have helped our staff at the APT so much with benefits. I know they've helped members from all across the country. I'm starting to get calls weekly about how good these guys are treating our members, which is really cool. When we started out with Jody, I know Fegley, you were involved in some of those discussions. We want to build partnerships with people that are our people, meaning people that we know are going to take care of our members, are going to do right by them, and just provide a level of customer service. And Lance is certainly fits that mold better than most. And we're super excited to have him on board and have him back tonight. So let's welcome in Mr. Lance Burbank from Universal Retirement.
Hey.
How's
Nice
it
to
going?
be here, guys. Thanks for inviting us back.
Oh, it's good to have you, man.
It's been a good couple of weeks, so it's good to be back and see all you guys. And I don't know who all's on here, but it's fun to be with the APT family. So
Absolutely. Well, how warm is it in Vegas today?
close to 80, 78-ish today. So
You're
Yeah.
killing me. I was super excited because it was 66 in Central Illinois. I was like, I might have Lance beat for a minute, but apparently not.
Well, you guys were talking about everybody just getting kicked off here in March, and I just want to rub it in a little bit. We've been playing golf all year, so as soon as finals were over, the Nationals was done. We hit it in October, and we're still playing. So anybody wants to join us, come out to Vegas.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Obviously, your son Chase is taking over the Las Vegas chapter, and he's a young buck, which can be intimidating for some, but he's doing such a great job. I've heard from members from all over the country that have already come out and visit you, that just how great of a experience you guys are providing, and we're super excited to have you guys on board. I know you guys have a big 2-day coming up, right?
Yeah, we got a big Well, this next month is a 2-day. Our next one coming up next week is 1 day. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, it's an easy flight to Vegas, guys. There's a gazillion lodging options, and if you like to gamble, Las Vegas probably isn't the place you want to go. But we've got some great golf tournaments for you to compete in.
Yeah, that's fun stuff out here. So we welcome anybody out, and I look forward to having some fun together. But it's been a good year so far out this way. Our weather's been fantastic. So
Cool. Well, it has been the worst winter in the last 20 years out east. So be careful who you say that to, because all of us are over it.
Well, come on out. We'll have some fun together. We've actually had some good time with several of the members have come out and not only played in some tournaments, but also we've got some extra rounds in and had a good time. So we welcome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you an APT question before we get into Universal Retirement. What do you think the key is to the APT experience? Like, what are you looking to provide? What do you think? What do you think's the differentiator? Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do in Vegas and in these tournaments.
So I think the biggest thing is a family feel, a friendly feel. We're here to put on a tournament that's we're out here to have a good time. We're going to compete, but the main thing is rubbing shoulders and having a fun time with everybody. And we want people to come back. It's not about I'm not going to go out there and win the green shirt. We know that already. So that isn't going to happen. So let's have a good time while we're out there. And the experience is really the key, is the experience for all the members. And so that's what we're trying to put on, is a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are doing a great job in Vegas. We hear it all the time from our members, and nothing's more rewarding as the owner of business when one of your customers calls to talk about one of your chapters that they just experienced and had a great time. And highly recommend making a trip out to Vegas. Lots of great golf out there, but you're gonna have a great time with a great group of people. So, but let's jump right in, Fagley. Let's jump into Universal Retirement a little bit. I'm certainly excited. I learned a lot. The 4 APT, a lot of people know my background. I own a digital marketing company. I've been in Austin for a really long time. And the last thing you think about as an entrepreneur is retirement. Everything goes back into your business. You're worried about what's ahead of you and how you invest, how you make payroll, all of those things. Lance, I wish I'd have known you a long time ago, pre-APT days. But why don't you give the 30-second elevator pitch of why the services you offer are so important to, small business owners out across the country?
So biggest thing is customized approach. We hear all about the regular products that are out there and the different types of plans, but they're so customizable. So we want to help someone achieve a goal, and it's not just a cookie cutter plan. So when you sit down with us, we're going to talk to you about your goals with both you and if you're a business owner, all of your employees and your teammates that are with you. And then what is it you're trying to accomplish? And then we think out of the box. So it's not just thinking of 401k plans and IRA plans and all that stuff. There's a lot of financial tools that people don't know about. And it takes a lot more work sometimes on our end to put things together like that. But it's in the benefit to customize like that. So I guess for my 30-second approach is come and have a friendly, fun conversation. We're going to build out the goals the way you want, and there's no pressure approach to it. That's it.
Right. Well, I think one of the things that's interesting is, you've taken the educational approach in setting up your business model that allows you to not really have to be salesy because, you're not making commission on which way someone goes. You're really just there to educate and help. And it's a really neat approach to stuff like this because people are nervous. I mean, you're asking them to invest, obviously, their hard-earned money, and they need somebody that they trust and can give them good advice. And it helps that you're able to give sound advice because you're not motivated by, one product or another to make a paycheck. So it's a cool model. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So our model is where we've set up contracts with different investment companies and insurance carriers where we're actually paid out of marketing dollars, and we're not there to just push you. You put your money in, your money goes to work for you. We don't take a dime out of your side. The other big thing on our end as an agency, we don't charge any type of consultation fees, and we never will. It's structured that way so that when someone comes in and sits down with any of us, we can focus on what's best for you. So that's the game plan. I put that into play from kind of my background, watching my parents not do very well financially and not know about money. And so when you sit down with someone and they're nervous and they're worried about, well, when do I have to pull my paycheck or my checkbook out? We wanted to do away with that idea. So it's gone, and we've built a great organization, and it's all education based. Come in and learn, and if I can't help you, if I can't improve your position, we're not making a change. But I promise, if you meet with us, we'll be able to guide you in one direction or another. Even if it's something we don't do for you, we're going to give you something you'll walk out of there with something worth meeting us. So yeah, you'll learn stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. I was able to sit in on, you guys hosted a webinar a couple weeks ago now on maximizing your Social Security income. I thought it was a very interesting presentation. It was kind of fun to watch people through. I thought there were a few people that started the presentation a little bit nervous, and then, it was kind of interesting as the night went on, everybody kind of opened up, and, I got a lot of feedback from people afterwards that said they really enjoyed it and met with you and did some things. And so, why don't you tell a little bit about some of the things you can do there? And then I know you've got another webinar coming up here in a few weeks that you want to talk about and let everybody know about. So let us know what's going on.
So last meeting was great. Craig done a great job and talked about, the secrets of Social Security and how to maximize Social Security. We actually had a good attendance in that webinar, and people learned a lot. Actually, there's a lot of little nuances with Social Security. There's ways to maximize it. And we were able to meet with not just answered questions on the webinar. Many people actually met with us one-on-one after, and we've been able to improve their position both in Social Security and with other stuff, but other financial, matters that they needed help with. So it turned out really well. And, some of them were already set up and everything was in good place. And we just kind of reassured that they're in a good position. So great attendance though. And I think it was very beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the next webinar coming up and let people know how they can sign up? I know, we'll be sending out an email to everyone with the details here tomorrow. But why don't you let people know what's going on?
So the next webinar, the topic, I'm gonna read it so that I don't mess it up because I come up with a fun one here. Benefits of cash value life insurance for the purpose of maximizing tax-free income, but more importantly, maximizing tax-free wealth transfer. So let me kind of just quickly define what you will learn in that. A lot of people think life insurance is all about just a death benefit, and it is. Death benefits are important, but most people don't understand what life insurance has turned into as a financial tool. And a lot of people, even if we're already in our 60s or even 70s, they're looking at life insurance. I don't want to attend a webinar about life insurance. The truth of it is tax-free wealth transfer through life insurance is huge. And I'm not meaning just only on your own life. If you've got a big nest egg of money and you're leaving it in your estate and you want to pass it on, a lot of times we can actually structure that plan to start passing the money on while you're alive. And it's much cheaper from a tax standpoint, saves you a lot of money in taxes to start setting things up for kids and grandkids now. So in that, we're going to learn about, using it for income for those that are in that portion of their life, as well as, how do we actually use it as part of our estate planning? So tax-free wealth transfer is huge, and there's many ways to do it with life insurance. So come and attend, and you'll learn some stuff, and we'll go from there.
Well, I think it was fascinating. One of the things we did, and share a little bit about some of the stuff you're doing for us. But Jody and I were, looking at anytime you're in a business, you want to have, key man policies, which are pretty expensive and don't really offer a lot unless you die, unless your partner dies. And, you're able to do a lot of creative stuff for us that creates a nice retirement benefit for both of us while giving us the coverage we need should, the unthinkable happen. And so if you're in a business, you're looking at some of those policies, they look expensive. I was kind of shocked at what you were able to do, to be honest, and the different value that it, provide and security it provided for my family. So I'll be happy to give a testimony about that. It's been a really cool program for us, and um, we're looking forward to it. I mean, I highly recommend that. What time is it on the 18th?
So on the 18th, it's 4:00 Pacific Standard Time.
So 7 Eastern, 6
7
Central.
Eastern. Yep.
Cool. Well,
And
I'll look forward to being there.
I'll be the presenter on that one. So
Uh-oh.
yeah. So come
Already
prepared.
Craig to the curb, huh?
Yeah, come prepared to give me some hell on this one, right?
Oh, that'll be fun. We will don't threaten our group with a good time.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Come give me some
I'm
hell.
certainly sure that we can find someone to give you a hard time. But Lance, as always, I appreciate you joining us. We'll get the email with the info to
Mhm.
register out for you. Once again, one of the benefits of the APT is you have access to these guys to ask any question at any time. They're here to help, and we very much appreciate all the great stuff you do for the APT. I know those that attended the championships last year enjoyed some awesome swag courtesy of Universal Retirement, and we look forward to growing the partnership here in 2025.
Likewise, and thank you guys.
Thank you. We will see you soon. Chris, we have a break, and you have not said what the break is, so stay
Yeah,
tuned for a message from one of our sponsors,
Worldwide Golf.
Worldwide.
Get there. Get there. Get there.
Get there. Those two words are said by golfers all over the world as a sign of respect, a whisper of encouragement, a roar of support. It's what we say to our competitors, our loved ones, our heroes. It's what we say to ourselves.
Get there.
At Worldwide Golf, we're like you. We strive to improve our game, to elevate our standards, and transcend our limits. Our commitment is to the journey, to the tradition, and to the spirit of golf that unites us all. Since 1963, Worldwide Golf has been there to supply golfers with the equipment and apparel they need to drive their journeys forward. With over 100 retail locations spread across 10 retail brands and the best golf e-commerce websites, we have exactly what every golfer needs for however they choose to play. All of this done to help golfers who want to be their best get there. We are golfers, and we're here for golfers. We built a brand around evolving the game and having what you need to play your way, and it shows in every product we offer and every experience we provide. Our goal is singular, to help you get there. Though the game may change, our mission remains. To stand beside you, to grow with you, to celebrate every victory and learn from every shot. Worldwide Golf. Get there.
What's up, Chris?
I know, just like that, I appear. You can't get rid of me.
Oh, dude. I know, man. Everybody's got to go. Lance had an event. Matt's got an event. So it's left to you and I to wrap things up. So,
Well, what does that say about us and what we're doing with our Friday nights? Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
wow, you went there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to do my best to try to keep this train on the tracks.
Oh, man.
So, Bagley, we're just going to go through it. I sent you the
Yeah, he sent me some notes.
polls in the chat. So, obviously, with a bunch of chapters really starting to kick off their season, let's go ahead and cover some of your important competition committee stuff. Let's talk about some deadlines to expect this year's and appropriate procedures with dealing what division you're in.
I love this because I was like, all right, what does he want to talk about? Let's wing it. So I guess the first thing is, so from a handicap perspective, we do weekly updates. So your indexes will update every Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And then we send out a promotion list. And from that, every Thursday. And if you want to have us review your division, asking for relegation, you need to get those in Tuesday, preferably, because we do hold our our competition committee call every Wednesday night. So we review those every Wednesday and get back to the players Thursday, Friday, letting them know what the status is. So those are the big things as far as how the promotions and relegation processes work. The other big thing is to pay attention to is seniors. The senior T, we have July, is it 8th or 9th? I'm going to forget, but it's one of those dates. That determines whether or not you'll be able to take the senior tee. Just like with all forms of golf tournaments, there's going to be a cutoff date. And we have a cutoff date for the senior tee eligibility for those people that turn 60. So as long as you're turning 60 before July, you will be able to potentially move up and take that senior tee bump. But after that point in time, there is a cutoff date, and you'll have to wait until the next season to be able to take that senior tee bump. So those are some of the big things that's out there. Was there anything else that you had in mind when you were going through this one?
No, I mean, you really flew through that, about the first time you've ever been on time for pace of play.
Wow.
But, it's a new time. We have a lot of new members this time of year. I'm going to give a shout out to our Augusta chapter. I think they told me that they have like 23 brand new members playing in their tournament this weekend, almost making up a third of the field. Obviously, with new players comes a whole lot of vetting. What's your springtime like vetting all these new players?
I'm sorry, what was it again?
Like the springtime, we have a bunch of new members coming in. What does that make your schedule look like as far as vetting all these guys and working with our chapter owners to make sure everybody's properly flighted?
Yeah, so one of the big things, if you do join up, obviously reach out to your chapter owner in your local area. They'll be sending you a survey. We are working on an electronic, automated survey that will come to the players for them to fill out appropriate information just to make sure they have the correct division. But in particular cases, generally tournament week is when chapter owners are going to be doing that last double check on players to make sure that they have information about a particular player, especially if it's their first event. So if you are getting communication, 3 and 4 days before the tournament, that's why you weren't caught or you weren't reviewed in the preceding weeks after members sign up. So again, as a player, you can take that opportunity to reach out to your chapter owner, discuss what division you're placed in, and do that as you sign up to make sure that you're ready to go for that first event. So,
and the form's not complicated. I've seen a million of them. You've seen a million of them. What kind of questions are you asking on that form? Like, what are you looking for? I don't have a gym. So you're vetting me, Fegley.
Oh, geez. Well, I was going to say the easiest thing is if you have handicap information. I mean, that's always the easiest, right?
Right.
If you have a gin, if you have 18 birdies, if you have, any of those electronic tracking forms, that's going to be great because we'll be able to review it and get you placed appropriately. If not, we have a pretty simple form. It just talks about, what your best score has been, what you generally shoot. And the big thing is what tees you're playing, right? Because one of the interesting conversations that we had, and we had one this week with a particular player, was he signed up for Division 4, but then when we were reviewing his questionnaire and asking him what tees he plays the championship level tees. So he's playing 6,800 yards, wanting to, but his handicap was a little in that cutoff range between 3 and 4. But we had the conversation with him about, look, do you really want to be playing a golf course from 6,000 yards or 6,200 yards? You've been playing from 68. So he gave that opportunity to go up to Division 3 because the golf course is going to fit him a little bit better. So, it's just questions like that. We look for career lows, or the lowest score you've had in the last couple of years. That generally is a good indicator of where you belong. We all have our lifetime best, right? That's another question. But, the lifetime best is generally way out of the realm. Whereas if you look at what your career bests are, or recent career lows, in the last couple of years, that tends to give a good idea as well. So, it's pretty good. We got it. Those of us that have been doing this for a while, we can look at a form pretty quick and get them dialed in pretty quick. So, and again, the important part is as you play more, you'll go through the validation process. That's 7 events where once that occurs, your APT index is going to ride and carry everything regardless of what other information is out there. So that's the key part is you want to make sure that you play in the tournaments, do the best that you can. Your index will shake out where it is.
Right. And that really kind of leads us to the next hole here. When it comes to points, what happens to a player's points when they get promoted or they take relegation? things along those lines. So I know that, this Wednesday we had a handful of promotions. What happened to those individuals' points?
Well, so if you go through the promotion process, your points will carry with you. They will go up, right? One of the things that we did learn throughout the past years is the relegation process gets a little difficult because there's a lot of factors to weigh in. So one of the things that we did decide to do was not allow points to go down. If you go from 3 to 4, you're going to go down to 4 and not be allowed to take those points earned from Division 3. However, if it was a situation like you were started out in Division 4, you played 3 events, you played well enough to get promoted to 3, after some time and trying your best to work at Division 3, it didn't work out. Your index allowed you to go back 4. Those points that you earned in 4 will be waiting for you. So, so those of you out there, there will be situations where players will see, the same name in 2 divisions, and that's because they were promoted upwards. So that's how that's going to work out.
Right. And, I get this question all the time, whether it be in the office, at the golf course, how is my player of the year calculated for the local level? And it's very simple, guys. It's 8 local events. It is 2 elevated events or national majors and 1 local finals. Your local events, it's just 1x points. That's the baseline of points. That's what you earn. Now, elevated events and majors are so important because they are worth double points, which can give you a significant bump. And then your local finals and the North American Championship is worth 2.5 times the points. So that's why, again, if you're close and in the race, you really want to make sure that you're playing your local finals or North American Championship, because you could have significant points movement for that last event.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And that's the other thing about the local finals. The local finals in most situations are for the local tour, right? So your local finals are for your local chapter. If you're a member in Northern California, you need to play in that chapter's finals. Arizona, Phoenix, that chapter's finals. St. Louis, that chapter's finals. Now, as far as the national player of the year goes, depending on the location and depending how it works out, you might want to play in a other chapter's local finals if the schedule works. That, depending on the local chapter, could be okay. The only difference is those points won't go back to your home tour. They will only count if you did better in that away local finals. It will count to your national player of the year standings. So, but again, some of the local finals are going to be closed because they're big enough. They're going to be closed to those chapters, those individual chapters, players only, and not allow guests from outside. Because again, it's trying to determine, that's the big event to determine who's going to be the player of the year for those particular chapters. So depending on how that works, some chapters handle that a little different. So,
right. And that's going to be a mix around the country.
Yep.
Once we get close to that point, and, if you might be gunning for national player of the year, something along those lines, your best bet will be to email the local chapter owner and ask them if they are accepting outside members from other chapters to come participate in their local finals. But Faley, you touched a little bit on national player of the year. I'll go ahead and remind these guys of, what is that points makeup?
What does it make up?
It makes up your 2 best local events will be counted towards your national player of the year. 1 elevated event, 3 national majors, 1 local finals, and the North American Championship. So the, I don't want to say matrix, but the makeup of national player of the year is different than local player of the year. So please make sure that you guys are paying attention to that. I know we get to summertime and I will start seeing guys from all over the country, everywhere, gunning for whether it's local player of the year or national player of the year. I know one year I had a guy come up from Texas to St. Louis because he was gunning for, I believe it was his local player of the year race. And, St. Louis tends to have pretty large fields. So he came up there to come play with us to see if he could rack up any points. Unfortunately, he didn't play his best golf that day, so I don't think that score ended up counting for his Player of the Year makeup. But nonetheless, it was great to have a visitor from Texas.
Yeah. The waters get deep in some of these chapters. It gets real deep.
It does. And that's one thing too, is go play other local chapters.
Yep.
I encourage you guys to travel. Texas to St. Louis might be a bit of an extreme, but if you have local markets around you, go see those guys, go get to know them. And, I promise you, you'll get some of the best golf in the country with the way these local schedules are made up.
Yep, absolutely. And then, it's good to meet people and have fun. We had a couple players come visit us last week. We had a good event in Northern California at Silverado, and we had some folks from out of town visit. We had a good time. I didn't have that good of a time because I lost the side contests, but
the side contest on the golf course or in the casino?
No, on the golf course. On the golf course. It was a good one, but we had some fun. But and we've got I'm noticing the chat because I'm probably see my eyes doing this, but it's like, what is he looking at? I guess we got some good questions that we can get to here in the minute. But one of the things that you do want the last hole to touch on was prizing, prize pools, prize options. That's another important thing. Again, everything that we're covering is available in the members manual, which you find in the members area of the website. You click the members area, and one of the big giant topics, one of the big headings says members manual. All these topics are available in the members manual. Chris, you did a nice job having a table of contents. Also, if you do bring up the members manual, you can use the famous Control F, which is find feature, to look for things if you have questions about handicaps, about points. All those things are available in the members manual for you to take a look at and to keep yourself educated. And that's the key. But again, we want to take the opportunity to, fill some time, revisit some things, and make sure that people hear it in multiple ways. So with that, tournament prizing, who gets a prize? How many people? How does that work?
Well, it depends.
Depends?
It depends. So, that's a question that we get all the time, who gets prizes, and that all depends on who you're competing against, how big the division is. I will tell you that most chapters, we're going to pay 1 in 6 spots.
1 in 6.
So 1 in 6 in Kansas City might look different than 1 in 6 in St. Louis because of field makeup. So always look at how many people are playing within your division to be able to see how many spots are being paid. Now, Fagley, what can you win? Do you know all the options off the top of your head? I feel like we have a million.
Well, one of them is a standard Visa gift card. The old little plastic thing. I'm not going to put up my credit card because some of you try to charge something on it. But
me first.
Yeah, right. The standard Visa gift card. That's one option. The other option is an electronic version of the Visa gift card, which some people like, to handle that via electronic. The other option is tournament credit, so event credit. So you can use that at future events, not events just played, but future events you can use that for. The other thing is with one of our tour partners, the Worldwide Golf, you can get a gift certificate from them, which gets you a 10% bonus if you're under the $1,000 maximum prize pool. So if you win a $300, prize pool, you can elect to take that in a worldwide gift, and it'll be $330. So,
man, you really nailed that. You nailed that, man.
Sweet. I passed the test.
You passed the test. However, one little caveat with the digital Visa gift card, you also have other gift card options. If you're
that is a good point.
Shopper, you can also claim another business's gift card. And I guess you actually forgot one because it's not I wasn't thinking about it, but you could also donate your winnings to Folds of Honor if you so choose.
Yep.
That is always an option on our end. Fagel, you were the big winner of the North American Championship. What did you choose?
Oh, I took tour credit because I'm going to plan enough events that
You got to feed the golf habit.
yeah, so that's part of it, but it's all good, man. It was good. And that was a fun thing to get oh yeah, by the way, here's your maximum winnings. Go have a nice day. And you're like, man, why is it not more?
Well, I can tell you why it's not more.
USGA representatives.
Yeah,
Amateurs.
we do abide by the USGA rules of amateur status, and you can only win up to $1,000. I will even say that's it's unfortunate, but we do abide by those rules to where everybody can remain an amateur golfer.
Right. You don't need that weird thing where someone's like, "Hey, this other event pays out cash. Do you want it?" And you're like, "No," because that would mean I'd be good.
No, we cannot give you cash. We cannot give you any type of cash equivalent. It must be some type of gift card.
Except for the optional skins game. That's it.
Yeah, skins can always be paid in cash, but prize pool, nope, you cannot do it.
Closest to the pin, and
Cannot do it.
the open net and the senior net. Those are all gift card related. So that covers everything. I enjoyed the fact it was 1 and 6. Are there some locations that do 1 and 7, or is it just all 1 and 6?
Some do. I don't know the list off the top of my head. I think those are pretty few. I believe most people are paying 1 and 6 across the country.
Yep, and that covers all the that's your standard division contest. That's your open net, senior net contest as well. So, yeah. Now questions. So there was a good one. And I don't know how much chit and chatter went on in the chit and chatter box, but Mr. Alderucci asked,
Oh boy.
why?
Oh, here it is. Why is cap lower APT versus Gin? Begley, that's all you, buddy.
Oh, this one's it's not simple, but the answer is pretty succinct. So Mr. Alderucci is a gentleman who is above the age of 60 and plays from the senior tees. So in order to keep the competitive balance between divisions as equal as possible, we judge all scores in the division based off of the open tee box. So if you're a senior tee player, you're going to be playing from somewhere between 200 to 300 yards shorter. If you went by the slope and rating, it of course is going to be lower than the open division. So that's where that comes into play, is as an APT tournament APT index, we are judging your score based on the open division slope and rating. So that is why when you go to, you go through your gen and you post it like you would for your gen, like you're doing that. One of the things that we have done is to create a balance between the divisions, between the players that are senior versus the players that are open. That is how that calculation works. Hopefully that makes sense and answers the question. That calculation and statement is in the members manual. So you can read more and then ask clarifying questions if there are any. But yeah, that's how that works.
I mean, Matt said it best, and it's a very prolific statement. The answers you seek is in the members manual.
Correct. And then the other thing, like, why is my index different? Again, this is the Amateur Players Tour. It's not, it's just for us to track between our division competition. We use 10 of 20 scores as opposed to the USGA that is 8. So again, it's a completely different formula. It's a APT index, not an other index. So that's the big thing. And this came out because one of our players, again, the story behind this is it's a pretty good story. I mean, some folks might not be happy with what happened, but we had a player that was playing the open tees against some senior players, wind up, I think they were all very similar scores. And then when it came back, he was looking at it going, I shot 82, 82, and my indexes were lower than the senior players that shot 82, 82, which would lead me to be promoted before a senior player who had the same scores. So that's why we incorporate that way. And it's also the same for the ladies. We do the same thing. So it's a division. The best way to say it is everybody in the division is based off of the same slope and rating. And that's how we track it, to make sure that the scores that are winning events, winning divisions, are all getting calculated the same way and players are impacted the same way. So there you go.
That was a very good explanation. I like that.
So yeah. And again, a lot of this has been conversations, and again, it's player feedback as well. So, we do listen. It may take us a little while to get it done, but we do listen.
Right. Well, Stevie Frank had a good question here in the chat.
Right.
Why don't you have to qualify for local finals? Is there a minimum amount of tournaments you have to play to qualify for finals? We've never had to qualify for the local finals at any point. The local schedule is open to all members, regardless of how many members that they or how many tournaments that they have played. However, for the North American Championship, there is a minimum rounds requirement of 5 rounds for divisions 2 through 5, and a minimum round requirement of 3 for Division 1 players. The reason why we do that on the North American Championship is to make sure that we don't have somebody come and sneak in for one event, take the North American Championship prize pool, and skedaddle.
Yeah. And also with the way the oh my gosh, the word escaped me. Oh geez. Come on, Chris, help me out. The exemptions. Yes, geez. The way the exemptions work, obviously, those players, there's an exemption, process, a pecking order, so to speak, on how you can sign up for the North American. So that's part of it too. At some point, man, that'd be pretty cool if you had a local chapter that was big enough that would have to be like, sorry, you can't even play in the local finals. You're not in the top 10 or top 20 or top 15 or whatever. That'd be pretty.
That would be that would be awesome.
But yeah, I think it's just a numbers game on that, But yeah. I guess anything else out there you're reading?
I'm looking up through the chat from earlier.
Wow, it's quiet. Exciting Friday night, Chris. This is what happens when you're no longer in your 20s. You get to hang out, talk golf.
Unfortunately, I'm still in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'm still the young buck.
Man, you are young. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
It's all right. I'm 28 going on 68, buddy.
28 going on 68. I like it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right. Do we have anything else?
I don't see. Michael Osborne, ever consider bumping D1 handicap to move some D2 to D1? Not a complaint, but a question to make a larger D1. No, that's never been a consideration.
Well, to be fair,
to my knowledge, I don't know what you've talked about on the competition side.
Right. Things like that do get discussed. We have talked about it. But again, it's kind of the why. Again, When making the 3.4, the cut, that was the cut for eligibility to play in the U.S. Mid-Am. So if you were good enough at a 3.4 to play in the U.S. Mid-Am, you should be able to play in a championship flight. As you get down to 4s and 5s, the competition then gets, I understand the flight would be bigger, but when we're dealing with guys that are +2s, +3s, +4s, you know, you're starting to have a spread of almost 7 index points, and that is big. So
That is very large.
keeping it at the 3.4 is probably what we're going to do for the foreseeable future, but again, it's always a discussion point. So yeah, at least that's my opinion. Oh no, what?
Steve Daniels, I have underwear older than Chris. Steve, I'm not going to doubt you, buddy, or make you prove it.
Oh, whew. Is that how we send it out?
That is definitely how we send it out, and I couldn't find a better way, honestly, Fagley.
We're just over an hour too, so we got Steve coming home with the quote of memory.
The quote of the evening. We're going to go out on that. But Fagley, I think we did good. We didn't, set anything on fire. I don't think we broke anything tonight, but I guess we'll find out later this evening.
Yes, the phone's blowing up. What is wrong? Oh my gosh. Anyhow, all right, Chris, thanks for coming on. And that's the thing, man. We throw something different by making it on Friday, and next thing you know, you get to see Chris. So again, I think we should be standard for Thursdays moving forward, but we had Allie's birthday. So obviously Matt had other things going on, and I guess the whole Illinois family did. So, so we should be back to Thursdays. And again, thanks everybody. Have a good weekend. Play good golf out there, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you later, everybody.
Excuse me, Mr. Fowler? Aren't you forgetting something?
Thanks, man.